You are listening to the Photographic Podcast. Your hosts are Jay, Justin, Mike, and Valentine. So, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Shooting with live view over using the viewfinder. Thoughts, opinions, concerns?
First, I would just want to say that this show is, oh wait. Am I back now?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
You were back.
Oh, good. This show is potentially sponsored by Cheetos.
Or Nike.
As well as the gas
Right.
watch. Give me more shirts.
So
Audio tape.
viewfinder versus live. I was
Live
always a viewfinder person, and then
Mhm.
once I got the SL2, and then was able to actually use my flash with the SL2, became so much easier just using live view, because in a way now you don't have to actually, especially when you get low shots and certain angles, you don't have to be right up on the camera. You can hold it from a distance and kind of like angle it, so it gives you a lot more options. You get to see real-time colors and make those adjustments instead of having to go through the viewfinder and making the adjustments, as you see and going by the little mirror thing they have. So
Sure.
I'm all in for live view. I just don't like I can't take as many burst shots. But we talked about that last time, so we're trying to take less burst shots this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tone it down a little bit. Instead of 1600 to 800.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't
Take a
tell
couple
what
breaths in
to
between
do.
shots. Come on.
Yeah, breathe between photos that you take.
I think during
It'll be okay.
each TFP that I've done, I at least leave with a minimum 800 to 1200 photos I have to go through. So
At that point, just shoot video and take single frames. It'll be
Right.
faster.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm yeah, shit. Normally I don't take that many. It just so happened to happen the other day, but normally it's not that much.
Sure.
Well, I like to use the viewfinder as much as possible. I find that the live view is useful, so it's not like I don't use it at all.
Mhm.
I like to see the live view if I'm trying to figure out how everything is kind of being affected, but I don't necessarily love it for framing the composition all the time. I kind of like it feels like I'm a little bit more connected to it when I look through the viewfinder versus looking live view, but I think that's just in my head.
Well, with your cameras, y'all have optical viewfinders rather than electronic viewfinders like
Right.
Jalissa and I. So it makes a little bit of a difference. Like for us, looking through the back of the camera through the screen is just the same as looking through the
It's the
eyepiece.
same,
So
yeah.
So for those
Yeah.
of us that don't know what that means, i.e. me, can you explain?
okay, so with your cameras, y'all are using digital SLRs, which is a single lens reflex. That means there's a mirror that pops up and down. When the mirror is down and you're looking through your viewfinder, you are looking through your lens.
I have
For
seen this so-called
mirrorless
mirror.
cameras, with any cell phone and with modern mirrorless cameras, that mirror is no longer there. It is just a tiny screen that is giving you the live feed from the sensor. So you're just seeing exactly what your sensor sees. So when you change your aperture and the aperture slowly closes on your lens, you will see that in real time. Or when you take a photo, it will briefly flash a preview of the photo that you just took. That's it.
Right.
But-
Instead of it being simulated like our live view would be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you're using your live view on your cameras, you're using it as a mirrorless camera. That's
Yeah.
exactly what we see. It's just instead of the optical prism, like having the light reflected through your lens, through a prism, onto a mirror, and into your eyeballs, with your cameras, with Jalissa and I, you just take the mirror and the prism out of the equation.
Right.
Exactly the same thing.
It's like taking your live view and putting it in the eyepiece too.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I kind of miss my OVF though, because I think that's why I get so fascinated when I look at like film cameras, like when I'm looking through them and how clear they look. It's
Mhm.
because I missed that. Like when I look through it, it looks real time. It doesn't look so TV looking.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed that earlier today when Mike and I were out in Fort Worth, um, and I was taking a picture of the courthouse in Fort Worth, and I had my camera at a really low angle, and I could see all the cars passing through. I was using the Mamiya, and like
Uh-huh.
watching them pass through on the optical viewfinder, it just looked so much more different than it
Mm-hmm.
ever did through my digital camera. I was like, that looks awesome. Why does that look awesome?
Right.
And duh, I'm seeing it in real time. There's no refresh rate for my eyeballs. That's just is what it is. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
and
it.
I think that's what I'd kind of take away from looking through the viewfinder on my Canon cameras is I'm seeing it in real time, and I feel in some way, and like I said, it could just be in my head. I feel a little in some way more connected to what it is that I'm
Sure.
doing. You still
For
have to
sure.
use the live view on some things because I can't know everything just by looking through the viewfinder.
Mhm.
When
You
you have the
can.
option to not and make your life slightly more convenient and use it, but I don't like using it all the time.
My thing is with the viewfinder is just positioning. Like sometimes you can't always have it up to your eye. And if you have like a flip screen or a tilt screen, like mine just tilts, you obviously if you're on the ground doing something, it's easier for you to look at the screen than it is to try to get all the way down and put your eye up to the eye cup when you're on the ground.
Right.
Something like
Yeah.
that. That's
I'm
when it
old and
gets
fat. I like to use that tilt out screen so I can put it on the ground and just look at it instead of having to like get down and suck in so I can like get low enough to see through the viewfinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm over here using my 5D and it doesn't have a tilt
yeah,
out
you're screwed with that.
back, so I'll just lay on the ground. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So no what's those little sewer man those little manhole things. No shots like that for you, like how Lawrence does.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I'll do it. I'll lay on the ground. I don't care.
Oh wow. Trooper.
I mean, if
I
that's the
mean,
shot that I want, I'll do whatever it takes to get it.
Whatever it takes to get the shot.
whatever it say.
If I
Ooh,
want it bad enough.
Yeah.
I got well, based off of that, then let's hear some damn stories then. Like what's a shot that you were like, man, I really want this shot. Maybe you were scared in the situation, like what if I get in trouble or what if I get dirty or just some shit you did that was like, I gotta get this shot. And
Ooh,
you
me,
ended up
me.
I have one too.
all do.
Whenever y'all go on those freaking parking garages and
Yeah.
take those pictures across those cliffs, I am deathly scared of heights. Any
Yeah.
way I can like see down, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I was like, I want the shot so bad, but no, my fears won't let me.
Yeah. I feel that.
Those especially then doubling with that, you've seen those garage pictures where like you have the girls kind of like leaning off into that, and you'll be on maybe like one floor up and taking the picture down to them. I'd love to take pictures like that. I think I'd get some good pictures, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah. No. Can't do it.
Never know, that big
Like-
gust of wind might push you over, and now
Maybe in like a full body harness and a crane and like an anchor. Sure, I'll try it, but I'm probably only going to get one shot because I can't do it.
yeah.
All right, we got
this
a
would-
shot.
This would be more for I guess Mike, but whenever you look through your camera on the viewfinder and you have it you change the view from live view while your eyes are still in there and it goes all black. That's kind of how I figured would happen if I fell over that cliff. Like, oh wait, there's something on my camera. No, I'm dead. Yeah. So
Yeah. I had a heart attack before I even hit the ground.
Yeah, see, that's why I specified earlier if I want it bad enough, or if it's a shot that I wanted. I mean, I do not want to be hanging off the side of a cliff. I do not want to be hanging off the side of a parking structure. I will rethink the whole shot. Be like,
What else can I do to get this?
Do I really
yeah.
need that shot?
Suddenly, it's not that important.
Yeah.
I got an awesome 2-part question to this whenever y'all are done.
So I got the answer to my own question that I just asked, and I guess y'all can lead the way after that. There was an instance where, like, when the pandemic first started, and me and Lawrence were in Starbucks, and not to make this sound weird or anything, but It was in Starbucks, and it was this. There weren't a couple. It looked like they were just business partners or something. But it was this guy. The guy was African American, and he had a mask on. This was like when you didn't really need to wear your mask like that, but some people were doing it. He had a mask on, and then the woman next to him was Asian, and she didn't have a mask on. And of course, at the time, everyone's like, "Oh, this Chinese virus and all this stuff and la la la." So it just for the simple fact of the picture, like in that moment, it was like it kind of told a story. So I was like, I got to take this picture, even though I'm in Starbucks. So I was taking the picture, and then, sure enough, the cashier was like, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me," and I was sitting there, snap, 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 because I wanted to make sure I got it. He was like, excuse me, and I was like, "Oh, huh?" And he was like, "Could you please not take pictures of our customers?" And I was like, "Oh no, I was taking a picture of that thing, the thing back there." But I definitely got that
why you
damn
gotta make it
shot.
so hot? I was like, yo, it's only between me and you. Why'd you have to say something?
Right.
They didn't care. They weren't even paying attention. But I snapped. I sat there and snap, 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 snap.
I can hear the shutter clicking now.
Man, I didn't give two shits. So that was the one time I did not care. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
The wonders of candid photography. It's like there's moments I think we've been to like coffee shops, and then I'm seeing like the barista like pour something, and they're like all in the zone. I'm like, I have to capture that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people don't appreciate that. They're like, fucking weirdo taking pictures of people just doing anything. Like, yeah.
You got a story, Mike?
Speaking of which, oh, go ahead.
Do I? No, I don't have a story.
All right, I have one. I'll end that. So back to our previous episode about the BLM protests. This one was in Dallas. It was I think it was day 2, because no, it must have been day 3. I think this was a Sunday. It was the day after I went out with you, Val. I was with other Val.
Kept going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I kept going. I had to go like every day that there was one. I was like constantly refreshing my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook trying to find a new one. But I went with Val and Lawrence out, and we were walking around, and a couple hours into it, it started to get rowdy. Lots of pepper spray and tear gas being shot and people getting arrested and stuff. When they had finally dispersed the crowd, they had split it into 2 parts, and they were slowly pushing them away from City Hall and down the streets. We went down one of the side streets, and we saw a standoff. And we were like, oh, let's hang out here and see if shit pops off. It did. And we happened to get up on the side of the library, and we were all taking photos of the line of protesters and the line of police. And at a certain point, I don't remember what point it was, but you could just feel the tension rising and rising and rising. And the police fired off tear gas canister, and we're like, all right, well, it's probably time for us to go before they start shooting at us, because we weren't in front of the protesters. We were up in a flower bed, looking down on the protesters and the police. So the police did not like us being up there in the first place. So tear gas goes off, and we're like, all right, well, it's probably time for us to leave. And Val and Lawrence were like, nah, we're going to stay here until they tell us to move. So we stayed there until they told us to move. And it started to get real hairy. So they started shooting at us, pepper bullets or something. I don't remember what it was. They yelled at us and started firing towards us, like tear gas. So we got up and ran down and across the street. And as we were going on behind the library, we hear somebody screaming and mumbling behind us. And we turn around, and it's the dude that I guess was all over the news, lost his eye because he had got shot in the face with a rubber bullet. Those photos that were on the news were for me and Val. We took those photos, and NBC5 or whatever picked that up and put it all over the country. But yeah, the dude laying on the ground with blood all over his face and blood all over the ground, that was me and Val.
Shout out to NBC
And
for sponsoring.
no, fuck them.
Okay,
They didn't give us credit.
Never mind.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, thankfully Lawrence was there. He actually knows how to take care of people with lacerations and broken shit in their face, because we did not know what to do. Like I took a couple photos and then I put it away because like I did not know what to do in that situation, because like I've never been in a situation where I need to deal with like a shattered cheekbone and like somebody being shot in the face with a rubber bullet. Like I did not know how to deal with that. So thankfully Lawrence was there. But yeah, as we were taking care of the dude, the police came around the corner and they told us to get the fuck on the ground and put our hands up and like stop taking care of this dude. And we're like, dude, look at all the blood. Like we're kind of busy right now. Sorry for like interrupting your protest, but like dude's face is like part of his face is caved in from your fucking rubber bullets. And
no, it's not.
Thankfully, dude. So yeah, that's the one photo that I risked quite a bit to take, but I never posted because out of respect for the dude, I just didn't think it was right for me to like try to clout chase with his fucking bad luck. So yeah, talk about doing anything for the shot. Tear gas. Shit's no joke.
I wanted to segue that into a more lighter note and say,
yeah, let's please do.
I was like, that's back-to-back dark episodes we're going with here.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I was gonna say, you know, when it comes to taking photos again, have you ever been in a situation where like a model wanted you to take a photo outside of, you know, your realm of stuff you do, and you have no interest in doing it, or is there a specific type of photo that you refuse to take, you know, regardless of anything? Like something you just will not do?
Boudoir.
Really?
I had a friend ask me to do boudoir, and their husband was there, and it was real awkward. I did it because they were a friend, and I wanted to like give it a try, but I found that is not an area of photography that I want to do. Maybe if I had like a girlfriend and it was something special between us, sure. But like,
I don't want to even make a comment.
that's all. Yeah, we'll just leave it there.
All right.
Leave it with your loved ones.
That's funny though, because it's like the total opposite for me. I was actually thinking about like if I actually got into a niche that where I wanted to make some money, it might be boudoir. And I don't really give a shit about ass and titties and all that stuff. It's just kind of in a way it could be a positive thing, you know, like boosting self-esteem and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And my ex actually had asked me one time to take pictures of her like that, and I said no. So it's like the opposite. I was like, why? Why do you need photos like that while I'm over here being all contradicting, taking photos? But it's different.
If I had some exes hit me up, I would definitely do that. Yes. Please hit me up. I will take your photos.
I mean, you don't think about it until people tell you. I know a friend who got it done, and she said she spent $2,000 on boudoir photos, and
what?
I was like, damn. And I was like trying to get all the info because I'm like, oh well, damn. So what made you want to do that? Like, what was the reason behind you feeling like, you know what, this is okay? Because some people look at it like, oh, it's an investment to look back on yourself maybe later on and be like, I'm a bad bitch or something like that. And it's like $2,000 worth of.
I'm all in.
I'll take it.
Nah.
I'll take it.
Were you saying no?
For $2,000, it depends on who it is.
Some grandma.
Yeah, I'd shoot.
No grandma shoot.
Graham could put the bikini on. I'm taking pictures on.
I would give 2 hells and a heaven if grandma.
Are you getting my headshot? It's like, yes, I am.
I'm already over here trying to not really deal with models too often, so not that I have anything against them. I just prefer not.
Yeah.
So
just interacting with people is
I ain't
draining.
even worried about whether boudoir is on the table. It's in a realm of things that I already don't deal with a whole lot. So if it did show up or on the doorstep and saying, "Hey, would you like to shoot boudoir or whatever?" No,
For
no. I mean, if I was
$2,000.
doing it, if one of you guys had set up something and you wanted somebody to come to do it, and it was an opportunity for the experience of doing it, absolutely. But I do it for somebody as a paid gig, absolutely not. I don't care how much money they're offering me. I mean, I
Right.
would give it a shot for 10 grand, but I ain't doing it for just for money. I'm not comfortable enough with shooting people as it is. Like just based on my experience with doing it, I don't have a lot of it, and so especially in doing it in a situation where they're more revealed than normal. So that would put me and them in a little bit of an awkward situation because I can't prove that I can even provide them the type of images that they would want anyway. So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
not just the nudity of it; it's also my comfort level with taking portrait photography and
Yeah.
all that as well.
Yeah, for sure. It would be something like I would go and learn. Like I would probably take classes and all that stuff and get whatever the hell I need and blah 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 and figure out what I would need to do to be successful in that because it's the same thing with me. I'm not the best when it comes to posing people and all that stuff. But if you do it enough, then
Mhm.
you get it down to a science, then you're okay with getting paid. Shit, I'm okay with getting paid like $600 a session. It don't gotta be 2,000. I
Right.
mean,
Don't tell people
but I
that.
mean,
Don't tell me your prices right now. We can market this. But
Six
no,
hundred bucks. It's too late.
it's time to
This is
take
locked in. We got it locked in.
time to take the podcast to a whole nother level. And ask this question
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
with the boudoir shots that y'all have taken thus far, do y'all feel like it has sensitized your look on whatever sex it is when it comes to seeing their bodies in general? Now, if it's your significant other, of course, that really shouldn't change. But now, whenever like I've done several, and now it's like whenever I'm taking the picture, it's only been just work, nothing
yeah.
sexualized to it. I'm here to make them look as beautiful as possible, but at the same time, I'm not even seeing like there. I'm not. I don't think I've ever been that person where if you have a naked woman or some implied nudity that they're doing has ever been like a ooh, this is just such a hot moment or felt a certain way.
Yeah.
Kind of like those, like some of those other creep photographers, but
The other 80% of photographers.
yeah. just in general, have y'all ever like kind of got that feeling where okay, I can just be around naked bodies all day now, and there's like nothing with it.
Nah.
I wouldn't
I've
care.
been single for too long. No, I'm sorry. It's not that I'm trying to be creepy about it, but like, no, I have trouble separating those two things. Sex has always been really intimate. Like, I mean, obviously it's intimate, but like, it's deeply ingrained within me that like sex is intimate, nudity is intimate. It's not that I'm against like people sharing those images. Like, do whatever you do. Like, I don't care. But like, for me, it's hard to maintain a level of professionalism because like that's a special moment that I don't. I don't know how to put that without like being
You're
weird
keeping
about it.
yourself
But
safe.
like,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like
I mean,
who
it's not
you
like I'm
are,
gonna
so it's
like do inappropriate things, but like it's hard to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm a professional. Ignore the boner that I have. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just gonna wear a hoodie this whole time so you don't see anything. Like, I promise I'm a professional, but like,
I just really love this
no,
moment
it's
that
just
we're doing right now. Can you just like
yeah. I just really love this moment. Can you just stay there for like another 5 minutes, please?
And we're talking about both
Yeah.
men and women, so just so y'all know, there's nothing
I am
specific.
yes. No, I just can't. Like, it's just not me personally. I just can't do it. So I choose not to. Like, out of respect for everybody involved in the situation, it's just not something that I think that I can do professionally. So I don't.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think I'd be fine. That's why I'm like, yeah, give me your money. I don't care about your boobs and your ass. So just give me your money.
Dang,
And it's
hustling.
about the experience. No, it's about the experience too. I mean,
Yeah.
making somebody feel good about themselves or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I think I'd be okay with doing a shoot like that with somebody else, another person who was professional doing it, because I don't.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't. I think that everything is beautiful in its own way, and every situation can be handled a little bit differently. I think shapes and shadows and the way the light hits things, it's part of the art of it, and so I don't really look at it like in a sexual way all the time. It's not sexual to me. It's just beauty of the shapes and the colors and the shadows and the light and all these things together. And I see that kind of stuff a little bit more than I see the like a sexual aspect of doing boudoir. So
Sure.
but like I said, the only reason that I would do it is if there was somebody else professional to do it, because it's both my safety, the safety of the model, the one of the shots done. I would prefer, and it's just like a HR nightmare to me. Like, oh, there's a guy in a room with a woman and she doesn't
And a
have
camera.
her clothes on, and yeah, with a camera, and it's like, I don't know.
I was just gonna say.
I
was just gonna say it's like that with unfortunately with guys. It's you're a guy and it's a female, and it's just like he's a fucking creep because he's taking pictures. He wants to take pictures of her because she probably looks good and all that stuff, and it's all a sexual.
I mean,
and it's just
technically,
automatic.
yes. That's why I'm taking photos of her. Is because she looks good. Like that's it. But I mean, to be fair, like I feel like me personally, I can separate the sexual act when I'm looking at photos, but being in the same room with somebody is a different story. Like looking at boudoir, I could look at that shit all day, 24 hours a day, nothing. Being in the same room, completely different story. I don't.
It's like y'all having a moment together.
Yeah, it's there's a separation with a photo that isn't there when you're in person.
What's the temperature of the room like? Are we like on 71?
Yeah, we're gonna keep it on 32, and I'm gonna wear a jacket.
You cold?
I see your work. Okay.
I'm a winter boudoir photographer.
Yeah, we're gonna do it out in the snow, on the mountains.
Bro, I've been seeing it.
Oh yes, those like those jacuzzi shots, like right off the cliff or something.
Yeah,
it's like
not
seeing it, but maybe like just the backside, getting maybe a silhouette or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was cool.
I got some vacation time. Let's go somewhere.
Me too.
Anywhere. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care anymore. Let's go to Let's go to Big Bend. Fuck.
Yeah, we need to get down there before it gets too hot.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, y'all automatically get the creeper, like automatically, like, oh, he's a guy.
Thanks.
He's a creep.
Appreciate it.
It's easier for women to get into a boudoir than it is for guys. Well, at least for Mike. If Mike did it, he'd be all right. Just make sure you on your website and everywhere. Make sure your wife is on everything.
Yeah. Happily married. I'm just doing this for the money. I happen to be really good at it.
Yeah.
Maybe, go ahead.
The wife and I practice all the time.
Yeah, makes girls feel more comfortable when they know that, like.
I want to make that a conversation for next time. Hopefully, maybe we can get like a second lady on the podcast and let's talk about the differences of having a guy photographer versus a girl photographer.
Sure.
Y'all
I think it'd be fun.
Then go ahead and leave a comment. See what we can bring you on.
Good idea.
Be a fun time.
I'll dig it.
Maybe I'll highlight this and then put it up on the if y'all cool with it, put it up on the Instagram, just this little section, whatever. And then
Make
saying,
it so.
hey. All right.
I'll put you, Justin. Make us famous.
Hey,
That
I
is
still
on
don't know
y'all.
what to do with that ad. I don't know what to do with that ad.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Unfortunately.
Well, I think we've reached the end of today, so I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.